Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Cat and Beats. Today a little bit of drum processing, and specifically we're going to be talking about compression, how to set up your compressor, and then the magic knob of the internal sidechain compressor. So let's just do that, have a good time, and let's see how it goes. So what I notice is a lot of projects that come in, they come in overcompressed, and the problem with overcompression is not necessarily that you have just a third of a sound wave. It's actually that the low end just kind of disappears. And the reason the low end disappears is because most people don't press this little EQ, this little sidechain button. So let me show you how this whole thing works, and I'll set everything up with you, and then you can follow along at home and have a good time. So first and foremost, open up a compressor, turn off the makeup gain, put your ratio about 3 to 4 to 1, something like that. Have a feel for it. Take your attack, make it as fast as possible, release fast as possible, and threshold fast as possible. Well, or as low as possible as well. Now, what will happen is if we engage the compressor, normally it sounds like this. And we engage it now, and all sound is gone. Fantastic. So it's only very soft in the background. What I want to do with you is to slowly put up the attack time. And what you need to do is you need to start listening to the first ticks and clicks of the compressor coming through. So if you have very ticky techno, you want it to be ticky sounding. Right now it sounds ticky. But this is future bass, so we're going to slowly put up the attack time so we have a thicker sounding drum set. So more of the transient comes through. That sounds about right. It sounds aggressive as fuck. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the release knob. We're going to slowly put that up as well until this compressor is kind of almost acting like a gate. Like only those ticks and clicks are coming through. Kind of. Okay, that sounds good. Now I'm happy that we have that, and what we can do here is we can take the threshold, and what we're going to do now, this will control the amount of fat compression that we can put in. So let's just put it in. Sounds pretty cool, right? Now, what most people will do is they will forget their makeup gain on, and with the makeup gain turned on, you're going to be thinking, this sounds great. But actually, turn that off and A/B it without that. Do you notice that you actually just disintegrated your low end, and the low end doesn't exist anymore? So it sounds kind of weak, flat, and shitty. Now, what we can do to combat that problem is to take this little EQ, turn that on, boop, like that. Take the frequency knob, slowly put up the frequency knob until the low end comes back in. Now, the amount of gain reduction is a lot less, so we can get away with more gain reduction. Let's do that. Now I'm gonna quickly put up the output again so that the low end of the kick drum makes sense again with the snare drum. Okay, now let's compare that to each other again. So now we have that over-compressed type of sound. And this really comes to its own when you also send in your reverb into a drum bus. There's many videos of me doing this, so give that a shot. And it comes to its own when you turn on all your auxiliary channels. I've done this many times, so check that on all the mixing and mastering tutorials where I do the drum bus tricks. So now let's have a listen to this. And also without everything. And then with. Now, on top of that, what I tend to do is I put on a little bit of tape saturation if it calls for it. And then when you have that like thick sound. So it's a nice little tidbit there. But now, when we compare everything, and you can really hear it in this reference, it's going to get a bit loud, by the way. You can really hear it in the reference. Actually, this is the before of that track, where the compression was put up quite loud. So let's just have a listen to this, and then I'll go back to the other track, and then all of a sudden the kick drum will come out, and you're like, oh, that's it. All right, ready? So volume down a little bit, okay? Listen to the kick drum. Okay. And listen to the snare body. So that's that standard little thing that just happens. If you don't know about that button, then things go wrong. Now, I also have this on the tuba, so I have the same processing. So I have here I have a compressor and then a tape machine, and then here there's a compressor and a tape machine. Now this compressor, I really like this because with this tone knob, it's just 3 little buttons. So it's not like a dial like in the glue compressor or the compressor itself. It's just 3 buttons. And then with this normal mode, you now know why I put that normal mode there. The reason it's there is because there's probably a little bit too much low end. And here I can then control the low end and at the same time get a fast attack. So I have the tickiness of that snare and kick to come through loud. So it's a over the top loud song because in this genre, that's a thing you do. So I hope you liked this little tutorial thing, and soon I'll be back again doing a whole mixing and mastering session every day, every Thursday, going through something. If you want to support this channel, by the way, please go over to Patreon, and there's little tidbits and we can talk and do things there as well. So cheers, much love, take care, and peace out.